What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a busy one here in Cowboy land, to say the least. The Dallas Cowboys, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got Osin Digazua's contract signed, and his mom was there signing there with the agent, looking happy as could be. And I'm going to say, I think it was actually a good deal. I can't wait to see how it all breaks down, but I'm betting somewhere between $6 and $8 million cap hit for this year, which is good. I know a lot of y'all will say he's not worth it, but he's got 44 pressures. Some people will say pressures are more important than sacks. I don't necessarily agree with that, but 44 pressures is a lot. And I want you to understand that the Cowboys were, even with Micah Parsons missing 5 games, one of the highest sacking teams in the NFL. So you want to bring back that guy who can do all those pressures. If you don't, people say, oh, we just need to replace it in the draft. Well, we tried that shit last year. We ended up letting go all these free agents because we said they were going to be too expensive. Dorrance Armstrong, we didn't want to pay him $15 million, so we're going to let him walk. We'll just replace it in the draft. How'd that work out for us? It didn't. It didn't at all. So, be that as it may, he's coming back. We got Kayvon Turpin, who is now got the second-round tender. So, we actually have 2 of our free agents taken care of a week before the league year. This is amazing. Now, we also have another thing that's happened. Now, this is not something that's new. Typically, the Cowboys have to do these at this time of year because they've messed up on the cap, because they're usually in the red right now. Excuse me. They're usually in the red right now, and they have to restructure contracts to get some more cap room in order to get below the salary cap to start the league year. And they've restructured now, something that everybody's been talking about. When Stephen Jones says, it's going to be really difficult to get people signed this year, of course, this offseason. And you had people like Mike Fisher and Heffrey talking about, before anybody else, about how the Cowboys could get $100 million. One of the things is getting Micah Parsons' deal done, not waiting till the last minute. Another one is the triggers with Ceedee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Ceedee Lamb's was just put into effect. So here's the thing. Here's where we're sitting right now. This is huge because this is going to open the door for us to get our guys done. And if they go ahead and they get Micah Parsons' deal done, let's say, okay, so let's go through here. Let's try and see if I can off the top of my head. The Cowboys had $3.4 million to start this year, to start this morning. All this stuff doesn't come official until the league year. They will get about $18 million when the rollover comes in and hits. So that gives you about $22 million to start out with. They just did the trigger for $20 million. So that gets you about $42 million. There will be some more money when they finally get the final number for the salary cap. So that may get you to about $45 million. Okay, so right now, about $45 million. If they get, as we've talked about, Micah Parsons' deal done, they get about another $14 million. That gets you to $60 million. Now, that 60 you got to take off the 5.3 for Kayvon Turpin and the 6, roughly 6. So we'll say $12 million. That still leaves you $48 million left to work with. $48 million. That is more than enough to get your other guys signed. If you're talking about Jordan Lewis, if you're talking about Rico, because typically when you sign these deals, you have that first year is kind of low. They can get those guys signed and still have money for free agency. If they really want to go crazy and go all in, they can go ahead and do Dak Prescott's and get another $40 million. And so the question here is, and again, I keep going back to the same thing. I think the Cowboys are going all in to go ahead and do something this season. I think the final straw was seeing Washington with Dan Quinn literally going to the NFC Championship game and doing things the way they've been doing for 30 years. That, and I believe that now it's Stephen Jones actually running the organization. Something that's kind of interesting is Stephen Jones said when Jerry's gone that he saw the team taking less risk. I don't see risk that the Cowboys have been taking. So I kept always saying, what risk are you guys taking? Because you really don't take any risk. This will be interesting because technically the Cowboys could go through and not restructure Dak and have enough money to go ahead and play with to sign their guys and maybe dig a little bit in free agency. And there's other ways they can get through it. And it may be that the Cowboys say, we're just going to take the big hit on Dak. So that way we can kind of get past that. And if we decide that we want to move on and try and get Manning, that we can. I, for one, say you've gone this far. You're bringing back Micah. You're bringing back Osa, okay? You know, you've got Dak Prescott and Ceedee locked in for 4 years. What you need to do is to say, we've got to win this Super Bowl in the next 4 years, preferably in the next 2 or 3, because we don't know what Dak Prescott's body is going to be like in 4 years. And we also heard Dak Prescott talking about a big move that was going to be made. Yeah, because Dak sure seemed like we're going to get something big. And this brings up the question in my mind, because I said, you know, with the Cowboys running business the way they did last year, I'd always said that, you know, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm going to Joneses and saying, what's the plan here? Are we trying to win a Super Bowl, or are we just going to be, you know, just about what we are? And for Dak to sign that contract, and we did business as usual, which is nothing, it's like, why come back for this? But maybe it was the Joneses going to him and saying, we're going to take the lumps this year. We're going to reset our stuff, and we're going to try and really go all in the following year. This is uncharted territory for Cowboys. We don't do shit like this. So I'm excited. So I wouldn't be surprised if today we hear that Dak Prescott's contract is restructured. If it is, then you have to say the Cowboys are going to be making a big move. And I'm ready for it. Alrighty, people. Peace.